talking about IGL and second IGL. So in my last team, we also had a bit of a second IGL who managed the economy, like look at the economy of this team and the enemy team, so that the main IGL doesn't need to have so much in her head.
Mhm.
So my question would be like, because I also heard more often that there's like a second caller within the team, and like how what kind of role really has in the professional scene the second caller, or how much does he take the weight of the main IGL to support the IGL
Mhm.
role?
Yeah, so the economy thing is great. Like usually you want to give this responsibility to a player that is always in the middle of the action of the map because he has the most probably most gunfights, he has the most information when from sound cues, etc., etc. So he understands at the end of the round, okay, this was a forced buy because outside guy, let's say, had FAMAS while ramp guy had 5-7. Like he hears these things because he was everywhere. If you assign this to a lurker or a player playing extremity on the side of the map, he might not hear everything. So it's good to have these secondary callers in the middle of the pack sometimes and help out with things like, as you said, economy. Another thing would be counting smokes, for example. On
Hmm.
Inferno, this is a great example. So secondary caller would be the guy that is taking like a boiler control on T side because he's in the middle of the map and he hears every single smoke being thrown by cities. He hears if they throw it in apps. He hears if they throw it in middle. He hears if they throw it on banana. And then he can keep updating the IGL like, yo, it's minute 30 left in the round and they already used 3 smokes. Like they're not going to have any smokes left for
Hmm.
the end of the round, and then your IGL can create a call around that. For example, you want to hit A because the pit guy, he's not going to have smoke anymore, so you can just molly his position away and stuff like that, right?
Hmm.
So it creates like an overall picture uh, with these mini responsibilities that your secondary caller has, and he can also suggest strats, for example, like, yo, I think they're completely weak on A side nuke. I think this is the time where we can actually rush the door or hut or whatever. Um, Stuff like this. Like secondary caller isn't really there to overcall the main IGL, but he's there to keep like flow going, to make sure that the suggestions are flowing into the IGL's brain and he gets to pick whatever the fuck he wants.
Hmm.
Okay, so it might be even things like someone is a little bit quiet. He has like a little bit bad game, he has bad score or whatever, he's not getting into action too much. Like a secondary IGL would be there to kind of like pick him up and say, okay, yo, we're gonna set you up this round. You're gonna go for entry there and see if you can
Hmm.
get back into the game, back on the board or whatever. So he's like kind of a glue, making sure that everyone is doing their job, and so IGL can focus on his job, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Or let's say secondary caller would be another great responsibility. Just popped into my mind because I've been doing this but in Monte right now, but it's not something I've been like tasked to do. I'm just doing it naturally. Is that I kind of know the playbook of our strats. I have it always on my second monitor whenever we play, but I kind of read it in my free time, so I know not only my own role, memorize it, but also roles of my teammates in certain strats. So if IGL makes a call and he wants to make a certain strategy or a finish towards certain part of the map, and someone doesn't remember, I'm there to kind of remind, okay, you need a smoke for this, bro. So someone who doesn't need a smoke instantly gives him a smoke. You need the flash. You need
Hmm.
this combo to throw, etc., etc. Because sometimes you're running a strat that you didn't do for a week or something, and then naturally people forget. So secondary caller is there kind of to glue everything together that IGL wants, and this could be a good example of what secondary IGL would be doing in a professional team.
Hmm. All right. Thank you so much.